Hello there, everyone. This is awkward, huh? You know, we were having a good time, making fun goofs. Haha! Apocalypse, you know what I'm saying? And here we are. But we still have these microphones, thankfully. I wasn't able to get any toilet paper, but thankfully I got this microphone, and all the funds I have, I don't spend them to food. I spend them to Adobe so I can edit this podcast. And Movies Are Real is still here. Your apocalyptic radio, and for the Fallout mission quest that you're going on out there. I'm here with Ryan Lance, who is also bunkering down with me here.
It's true. We have not left this apartment since we recorded the last episode. We have been quarantined. We have been practicing good social distancing by staying on the same couch for the last month. Nothing but good stuff.
Yeah, huh, Carrie? What's up?
Oh.
It's weird, man.
As a frontline essential pizza employee, I just have to say, yikes.
Yeah, so I guess that's the one thing. If anyone, we are still on this couch. Ryan and I have jobs that we just stay at home, so we're not we're not out and about a lot. If anyone carries the disease vector here.
Yes.
Hello.
Carrie is the Sam Porter Bridges, really going out there to bridge the world back together.
Except I only have pizzas.
Man, yeah.
How am I supposed to eat this pizza without my drink?
Yeah,
good stuff.
I don't know. So things have been weird. There are no movies anymore. Like, we were joking about that last time, but legit, there are no movies.
Movies are canceled.
The movies are canceled until further notice.
But boy, did we really catch some stuff at the very last minute before the theaters.
It's so weird.
Down.
I remember, because I think it was like a Monday that Alamo decided to shut their doors.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds right.
Because I looked at the app in the morning before I went to work, because I was thinking about seeing a movie after work. And then I opened the app, and it was like, you got to update the app. And I was like, oh, okay. And I updated it. It was like, nope, we're closed. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, because it was late in the week that it happened. That I was like, oh, no. And then by the beginning of the next week, I was like, nope, we're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw some stuff before everything went down, such as Emma, which you might have also. I mean, everyone could watch these, but this is one of the movies that they did the experiment of like, all right, let's put these online. Let's see.
Let's charge people $20,
which is
online
in a world reasonable, but people realize when you're not making an activity out of it,
Yeah.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like, oh.
I
just watching this on a laptop for $20.
Yeah.
So what people
and you're not like buying it either.
No, you're renting
it.
Yeah.
So I think people when they were asking for this beautiful future, I think they wanted it for maybe like $3, which was never going to happen.
That
doesn't make any sense at all. No one would make movies. But yeah, Ryan and I saw Emma. Again, the last movie before the collapse. During the political collapse where I saw this.
Yes.
Me and Ryan. Boy, Ryan,
You were in
I
a
don't
great
know.
mood that day.
I was in a great mood, but
it's
now
fantastic.
I'm fucking Joker-fied, baby. I don't give a fuck anymore. Who cares? Yeah, I don't know, man, Ryan. I don't remember much about this movie.
It was
good.
Yeah,
It's just,
Anna Taylor-Joy was Emma. What's her name? What's her last name? Damn it! And she based on the Jane Austen book. And she's basically like helping women become, suitable for marriage or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a very like posh and
she's like
kind of thing.
She's a very rich, high up bachelor.
Yes, and it's very interesting that Mia Goth plays a very sweet, kind, delicate person which is very difficult. Like, I have no doubt that Mia Goth is great and nice in real life. Like, every time I've seen her in a movie, she's always, like, torturing herself. So it was a very strange experience seeing her be all, like, smiling.
Emma Woodhouse. Woodhouse Auto.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, like, I don't know. Just like a dry humor.
Yes.
Just, like, breezy walk through the park kind of film.
Yeah,
it doesn't do anything that's like too like
also
not
great movie to do the $20 thing.
No,
I think the strongest out of all the movies was The Invisible Man. That's a movie I'd be like, $20 during this. I mean, it's not a happy movie, but it's a very good one. Sure.
But at least with Invisible Man, that came out like a few weeks before things got bad.
Yes.
So I feel like Invisible Man and like Sonic, they made their money. They made the money that they would have made. They would have like picked up some change, but they made their money.
Yeah.
So this was just like more money from. But Emma came out right before this happened, and it was a smaller thing too. So this is probably where they got most of their money.
But yeah, I really like it a lot. It's I had a lot of things in my mind, so it was hard for me to keep track of people's names, especially because
there's so many fancy names.
There's so many fancy names, and like they discuss these characters with the character not being in the room, so I can't connect a name to a face. And so, that's that person, and I was like, okay. So yeah, it's good. Anya Taylor-Joy is a very British Anya Taylor-Joy performance. I don't know.
But the thing that I'm starting to remember about this that I didn't understand is I never understood the relationship she had with the guy she ended up being with in the end.
Oh yeah.
Cause like he would like stay in like her and her dad's mansion and like hang out, but I don't remember why. And even after we had just watched it, I was like, why was he doing that?
I think there's probably a very simple reason why we're just very stupid and then kicked.
Oh yeah, no, I've never even been to England, so I have no idea.
It must have been like a family thing or something, or like he married into something. I
hope it's not a family thing.
Like they married into something, so he's a stepbrother or some shit. I don't know.
That's still a little.
Listen, man, it's all the rage currently. I hear.
No.
That's true.
I refuse.
But yeah, it's good. It's a solid movie. I think it's a weird movie to have right now, especially a weird movie to have as one of these digital things that you. But Anya Taylor-Joy does a great job. I don't think she exceeded my expectation. I think it was very that was an Anya Taylor-Joy performance. Yeah, it's good.
I wouldn't say it's an extraordinary
movie.
Extraordinary.
Yes.
So this one was a Fantastic Fest sort of a selection thingy. So I don't know. Is it out? Did they put it out digitally?
I believe so.
I don't know. Probably.
I believe this was one where it was always going to be in theaters and on digital around the same time.
And this one was on theaters for a week longer because of everything was so weird.
Everything
I
got
guess
pushed
I might
back.
as well fuck around and watch Extraordinary.
Yeah, this was the last movie I saw before. Me
too, I guess.
Movies closed.
Yep.
I went to see this by myself, and I had a great time.
Ryan, did you see this with me?
This was the first and only movie I used my movie pass.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes, that is.
Man, Alamo, come on, man.
So you paid $20 to see Extraordinary.
Oh no! They got me. They got me.
So Extraordinary, it is a British, sort of very dry humor ghost movie.
I think it's Irish.
Oh, Irish. No, it was totally Irish. My bad.
Yeah.
It was the most Irish thing ever, actually. My bad. But yeah, very sarcastic. So we have this family, mainly this woman and her father, who they have like the gift of being able to like talk to ghosts and shit. Her father had this like VHS like TV show where he was like, "Oh, I'm this fancy ghost. They're all around us. What's up with that? How do we blah 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 blah?" And she was sort of like a protege where she could like I don't remember. Because they each had different abilities. They had different things that worked each other off.
She could like talk to them once they like inhabited a person. I think so.
And he was like, I know how to do this. Like, actually do the job.
Yeah.
She was like, she knew she could talk to them, but she didn't really, she wasn't confident. She didn't have the experience to do the job itself.
Right.
And so there is this fucking washed out one-hit wonder fucking 70s fucking power ballad guy who is trying to get over his one-hit wonder because he has a record deal and he very much needs a hit, and so he's decided to sell his soul to the devil in order to make that happen. And part of that is that he needs a fucking virgin. The first virgin didn't work out because his wife's crazy and it kills her. It explodes. So he's getting the daughter of I forget this dude. There's nothing special about this guy, if I remember correctly.
Right. No, he's just a random.
He's just a random guy. And then the random guy finds out that the daughter retired because something went bad. Mm-hmm. And so now she's just teaching people how to drive. And so he signs up for the driving class, and then blah, 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 blah. She gets back in one more time, and they go through this really funny and fucking charming ghost adventure.
Right.
This movie is really, really sharp. It's really good. I had no idea that the lead actress was, never seen her or anything, but kills it.
She was
fucking
great.
fantastic. Will Forte is the fucking washed out fucking singer man, and he's fantastic as well. He's great. Yeah, it's a good time. Big fan of this movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. And the humor's just like, some of it's a little stupid, but a lot of it's like whimsical and fun and cute, and it's just like, but also like weird and gross.
Yeah, they do a good job of timing stuff out. It's just, it's got this really, I don't know. I think I feel like if this movie had that American flavor, I would not like it as much. There's something about the pacing, the tone of the jokes, the way they're delivered, that works so well for me. I don't know, Ryan, what'd you think of this one?
I didn't like it that much. I thought it was very like the humor just never stuck with me. And it just felt like everyone was just going from point A to point B for me personally.
There is that weird thing where like they do like most of the work like in the last
one night.
Yeah,
they spend one. Yeah. They spend they need like 5 jars of ghost ectoplasm.
Yeah,
and like they spend the first night doing.
They learn how to do it, and then
the next night they just do.
I can't do this anymore.
Montage. Yeah,
and then they do the last bit.
Yeah, that the structure of it just didn't work for me, and a lot of the humor, especially towards the end, just wasn't doing much for me. It just felt like it very much felt like a Fantastic Fest, kind of like, oh, it's this movie, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really know what to say. It's fine.
It's gonna make a very good Netflix movie.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't already.
I mean, I think it's too good to be an original Netflix movie, but I don't know. But yeah, Extraordinary. I think this is very much a streaming platform movie, I think, in the future, and I think it's worth a watch at least.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it again.
Good times. I mean, I think the last joke is great.
It's so fucking
the last
funny.
joke's fucking
Oh
good.
My God.
I don't want to spoil it,
It's my favorite part of the
it's a
movie.
great punchline for the whole thing. It's very good. So yeah, Extraordinary. The third one here, which I haven't gotten, I assume it's still on digital, is Swallow. I think we talked about it on the podcast last time.
I think so.
I made fun of it for using the fucking Parasite font and trailer style. But it is about this woman who marries this guy who has a lot of money, who has a very successful man, and she is pregnant. Before meeting this man, she really didn't have much of a career. She was just making by. So she feels very indebted to this guy, and so she's trying to be the perfect sort of housewife. And she swallows stuff to sort of cope somehow. But I don't know, Carrie, you saw this. So.
Yeah, I rented this and watched it at home, and I don't know if it was ever playing.
It was for the last week.
Oh yeah, it was playing for 3 days, and I was busy every night.
I was going to watch. That was the one I wanted to see.
I wish I could have seen it in the theater because it's so fucking pretty. But yeah, she starts to swallow these objects as a way to kind of regain control in a way, and to have something that she can do and that she feels like she has power over. And it's just it's not as much about her swallowing the things. I thought it was gonna be what's she gonna swallow next? But it doesn't really do that. There's visual cues and stuff. She sets them in a certain place, and then at one point there's more there, and so you've seen her progression of growing the things that she's swallowing, and then the family that she's married into begins to not trust her, and then it sort of becomes apparent that they only care about the baby, not much about her. Right. And it's a very bleak kind of watch. You don't want to watch this if you're already in a bad mood, but It's really...
I got some bad news for you, Carrie. I'm always in a bad mood.
But yeah, I've only heard good things from this, not only from you, Carrie, but other people who've seen it really like it.
Very good.
Something about this
Highly
trailer
recommended.
and the Saint Maud trailer really, like, do something to me that, like...
Whatever the fuck Saint Maud's coming out now.
And I just don't know if I can sit through it. I don't know why, because I never recognized that as, like, a thing that would, like, trigger anxiety.
I think I've gone the other way. I think I will watch Swallow.
Hell yes. It's really good. I think you'll like it.
Not too much, but how big of a thing does she swallow? That's the craziest. Like, how far? Because we've jokingly talked about she eats one of those, like, old, like, fat Mac Pros.
What?
Oh, the IMAX.
Yeah, the big old IMAX.
Yeah, she swallows one of the
fucking
the
Nintendo 64 color.
Yeah. No, I mean, they go at one point. They like go through the house and like find things that are like she would probably try and swallow this. Let's hide it. So then at one point she has to like try and find something to swallow. So it's bigger than something you would imagine could be swallowed.
Once they realize, she's doing this, we got to protect the baby. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And also, I want to shout out, I think it's Austin Stowell, that guy. He plays a fucking asshole in so many things. Like, he's an asshole in this, and then he's in Colossal. He's the like, nice guy in Colossal, if you remember.
The guys the nice guys in Colossal?
Not Jason Bateman and not the guy from Holes. The other guy.
Jason Sudeikis.
The pretty guy.
Wasn't that?
The pretty boy guy.
Was that him?
It's the same guy in Swallow.
Oh, I thought that was the guy from The Guest.
No, Dan Stevens is her boyfriend.
Oh. I don't know.
But Carrie did say Jason Bateman, but Jason Sudeikis is.
Oh, who fucking cares? One of the white Jasons. The white Jasons who are assholes.
What do you mean the white Jason?
I mean, Jason Derulo can no longer fall down anything in this.
Yeah, and then he's also in Whiplash. The other guy, the one who adjusts the stool height, if you remember.
Nope.
This guy who's so infuriating to look at. And every time he shows up, I'm like, oh, I hate you. And then he plays an asshole, and I'm like,
this sounds like a you problem.
You'll know who I'm talking about. He's like when what's his face is like, I'm in the band, and then J.K. Simmons is like, all right, I'm having you as an alternate. I have this other guy coming in to try out too, and he's like, what other guy? And it's the smiley asshole being like, oh hey, what's up, man? It's like, oh, you know.
No.
God damn it.
Swallow. Sounds good.
All I remember from Wilde is faster.
It's been a long time since.
Yeah, he's one of the three people who is in that scene.
Fucking
Nice.
6 years old. God damn. What is time? And now it is time for what we've been watching into quarantine / what's up / how's life / being an essential pizza worker / movies are closed, so I don't know what's coming out in April. Actually, that's coming up next. First, we're gonna talk about the stuff we've seen, but again, just so you know where we're at, folks. We don't know what's coming. We don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Trolls 2?
But
right?
Yes, we've been watching stuff in the meantime. Since there is nothing new. And hey, it turns out there's a bunch of cinematic stuff that's been made that's not, they don't make these week to week. It turns out they don't, and then they burn them. Turns out you can watch old stuff. So I've been watching a lot of documentaries in this dark time that we are in. So one that I saw was, I've been thinking about a lot about elections and the grim future that we're staring at. And
if we live to see it.
So I watched The Edge of Democracy. This was a Oscar-nominated documentary that when they were showing all the documentary stuff and they were showing like what was nominated, they showed The Edge of Democracy for a second, and I was like, man, that looks wild. And then fucking American Factory won, and I was like, that's weird. I feel like American Factory seemed like the most tame thing out of everything you just showed me, but okay, cool. So this is a documentary that chronicles the rise of power of Jair Bolsonaro and the current party that runs Brazil. I guess it's sort of also the exit, the impeachment of the Labor Party and their former president, Dilma. Are any of you familiar with Jair Bolsonaro?
Nope.
Not ringing the bell.
So this first came to mind in 2018 when... After, again, we're going to get a little political here, folks. So in 2016, that was sort of a shocking turn of events, November.
Some of us had a really bad night.
It was a bad night, bad time. And slowly you realize that everything was happening all at once. And everything's been happening all at once since 2016, I feel. But you look at Boris Johnson, you look at all these fucking people coming to power who are not the nicest, coolest people in the world. In 2018, Brazil had an election. And leading up to that point, it was a thing where what's kind of this bad guy is going to become president. This guy who is very military, you may have seen that the news stories that the rainforest is getting absolutely destroyed. Of Jair Bolsonaro. He is very fascist. He is openly homosexual, anti-gay. He's like, we should take them all, just kill them right now. We should take them. They're stealing the money. They're doing all this shit. So this movie chronicles what happened. Specifically, Brazil didn't used to be a democracy. It used to be owned by military, and then we had democracy, and then something bad happened, and the bad people decided to take power and present themselves as the alternative. Hillary Clinton, she fucking signed these trade deals. They were terrible, and now the middle class is all fucked, and sort of that deal, right? And also sort of the sort of finagling that they had a candidate that could have won, but then they got him in her email shit. And he went to jail, and so this guy had no one to run, and he became president. But now, in 2020, in the weird future that we're in, he might get arrested himself for the way he's reacted to coronavirus. He's pretty much, again, like Boris Johnson, who is sort of like, I'm out here shaking hands, folks. There's nothing to worry about. It's all good. Did not work out well for him, so he may die as well. But that's what this movie's about. It is fucking fantastically done. The narration's wonderful. The way it's shot, it is fantastic. I kind of want to see American Factory now just to see how did this not win that? Because it's really fascinating. But yeah, Edge of Democracy. I can't recommend it enough. It's on Netflix. Netflix, I guess, getting into the fucking very good documentary business, such as Knock Down the House. Are y'all familiar with this one?
Nope.
No.
Okay, Knock Down the House, 2018 midterms. Again, sorry for getting so political, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm outing myself here as a fucking liberal PC.
We hate politics too. We agree. They suck. They're terrible. We're going to talk about it.
What I've been watching during the quarantine is going to make me sound like a fucking idiot.
So,
how about the second thing on my list?
So, the 2018, remember 2018, there was the midterm elections. There was sort of this hopeful energy that there was
a blue wave.
The idea of a blue wave. There was not a blue wave. The Democrats did take back the House, and the sort of sad thing was there was a lot of progressives on the ticket, and so there was this energy. There was feeling we're things are bad right now, but maybe we can rebound back from.
It was still very good.
There was
still a lot of young people of color and different,
people with
gender identities.
Yeah, Medicare for all, fucking.
A lot of good stuff happened. It just wasn't the crashing down that people
exactly.
wanted.
So this movie is a documentary where they were following those people. And so ultimately this movie is about how that didn't happen, except for one person, who is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So this is the movie following Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez starting at her bartender job, deciding you should run for House of District 14 and the Bronx, Queens. And so this is chronicling that. But it also chronicles the other candidates, but as we know, they did not go, so it chronicles their failure and leading up to her winning it. So that's what the documentary is about. Really, it's if you want to fucking see what AOC's story is, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's fucking incredibly inspiring. It's fantastic. Again, see here, go to the bartender thing, to winning it all. So really cool. Highly recommend Knock Down the House as well. And then really quickly, my final documentary thing. All right, Dark Side of the Ring is a current Vice TV series. It is the best ever documentary series on wrestling. It is currently on season 2. So are you familiar with The Wrestler? The motion picture.
Yes.
And how that's the character is about how the business takes people, it chews them, and spits them out. This series goes through a lot of the weird stories and nasty shit that has happened in wrestling. A lot of the rumors, and these people were like, well, let's talk to the people there and let's see how it happened. And it's shot wonderfully. It's done so well. They do it. It's very much done in like a sort of a crime docuseries but the way hearing these people tell these stories, and since they're wrestlers, they've been here back and forth, so there's no bullshit in them, and it's done fucking phenomenally. I think it is absolutely. I think you don't have to give a shit about wrestling just to be fucking like, what the fuck with these stories. Tiger King, in the fact that it is, I can't believe this, but it is not shot in a reality show way, because a lot of these stories, like, they do like weird dramatizations, like in black and white, and like it's done fucking wonderfully. But Dark Side of the Ring, if you don't care about wrestling at all, and the most fascinating stories, I think the murder of Bruiser Brody is fucking incredible. Wonderful story. And everything on from the Vice's TV's website, you can see them there. The Chris Benoit story, which is probably one of the most well-known modern bad wrestling things that happened in 2008, where professional wrestler Chris Benoit killed his son and his wife and then himself. They do a 2-part series on it, and it's done very well. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. Can't recommend it enough. So yeah, that's my stuff. Ryan, what do you got?
Well, I have little different things. First off, just want to talk. Like with a lot of people, if you look at lists of like what's trending, there's a lot of like quarantine themed films.
Yeah.
I've watched a few of those, and none of them have been like on purpose. But I like start watching, like, oh wow, this is interesting. The first one I rewatched was Dread, and that was on purpose, just because like, what if this is what happens in like 2 months when we're all in like a giant structure that's locked down and there's a cop killing everyone? You know what movie really holds up? Dread.
That movie's fucking awesome.
Oh, it's so good. That's the one me and Greg watching that, and I did not want to watch it, but Greg wanted to watch it. God, fucking the Dread's great. And we walked out.
You guys did the same thing to me.
We walked out just being like, holy fuck,
exactly. That movie is
I also
still
watched
crazy.
it with Greg.
Yeah.
The slow-mo stuff, I remember annoying me a lot the first time. Did not bother me as much the second time. It definitely feels like, you know, that 3D, and I'm going to talk about like the 3D wave.
It was
again,
marketed as that.
Towards the end of My Block here, because there's another movie that like had that same energy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely see, and I feel like it's a movie that I would like to see in 3D. But it sucks that there's not really a way to do that anymore. It sucks that that never really kicked off, because I think the idea of 3D technology is interesting, especially in films. I wish more things did that. But yeah, Dread still holds up. Also rewatched The Crazies.
Wow.
For the sole reason of like, I really loved that trailer like in high school. Like
That's what sold that movie.
Trailer.
Yeah.
And that movie's fine. You know, definitely hits that quarantine vibe of, you know, there's this thing that like hits this town and everyone just goes into this like psychotic murderous state fairly quickly. It's a lot more uneven than I remember it being, but it does have some really good like moments of like building up like a moment of dread that's about to happen. So I think it's like a perfectly like interesting watchable movie. I watched that on Netflix, and then I wanted to rewatch the trailer because I remember watching the trailer and loving it a lot, and I realized that on YouTube they have the full movie. It's on YouTube. It's been on there for like 2 months as of the last time I saw it, and no one's taken it down because I guess no one cares about The Crazies 2010. But whatever.
The movie feels a lot older than that.
Yeah. The main thing I've been watching though is a limited series on Hulu, on FX on Hulu, which is called Devs. That is the Alex Garland limited series. The man who brought you Ex Machina
and Dread
and Annihilation. This series is about this woman who works for this Google-esque company, and one day her boyfriend, after being promoted to the devs division of the company, goes missing, and later on there's this footage of him committing suicide, and she like looks at everything, and everything's not, it doesn't like add up between like the footage and like what she knows about him. She thinks there's something going on, and she thinks the company is behind it. And it's not done yet. It's only about halfway done with its like 10 episode arc. And man, does it like that like idea of like this corporation being powerful and controlling everything, just like, and like you can't escape like what it can do. It perfectly envelops that, and it sucks. It sucks that feeling that like how like big business is nowadays. Yeah. But all the acting is great. Nick Offerman plays the Mark Zuckerberg-esque character.
Oh, wow. Weird.
His first scene is he's in like the job interview meeting. He's eating a bunch of like, he's eating this weird salad from like a wooden bowl, and it's like that is not how I picture Nick Offerman ever, but it's great. The main actress, I forget her name, but she plays recurring parts in all of Alex Garland's films. They have like this very close friendship, and like he puts her in all of his work as like a good luck charm thing, and so he wanted her to like be the main star of the show just because of that friendship. And she's fantastic. I really hope she does other cool stuff in the future. But yeah, Devs, Hulu on FX on Hulu. It's fantastic. It's weird that that's a Disney thing now, but it's a fantastic, fantastic show. I can't wait to see how it ends. But the main thing I spent my time doing, and trust me, I hate this as just as much as you guys, is I watched almost all the Final Destination movies.
So you didn't see 5?
5 I could not find streaming anywhere, but I watched 1, 2, 3, and The Final Destination.
And then Final Destination 5 was just called 5, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
Which is weird because when I did the research, when they named it The Final Destination, they didn't think that was going to be the last one. They're like, oh, we always planned to be a 5th one. Then why'd you name it The Final Destination? What's wrong with you? But yeah, I rewatched all these, and man, these movies suck. They're
I have
terrible.
a soft spot for 3. I have a soft spot for 3.
3 is definitely the best one.
3's
It is the perfect amount of like cheesy, and like the deaths are just funny enough.
Oh my god.
But like the first 2 are just like
They're also the first 2 are straight like, no, this is serious, man.
yeah,
this
it's
is real.
Well, death is gonna get you.
If I remember them.
No,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, that's
So the
why.
first one's an airplane, right?
First one is an airplane. They're going on a
the
trip
logs.
to Paris, I think, and then he has a vision of the plane crashing. Very interesting how that movie came out in like 2000. By the way, I'm just saying that could not. If that came out a year later, there would have been some problems.
Then we probably wouldn't have 4 or 5 of these movies.
Oh no! But yeah, and then after that, they realize that death is coming from them, and the way like they just I forget like how they like discovered this is happening, and how they like learn about the rules of like how death is following them.
Which isn't there some dude? There's some fucking dude who explains it to them.
Yeah,
Who is it? It's some horror guy.
It's a morgue guy. He works at a morgue. I can't remember like his actual name, but there's a guy at the morgue who like they call him like Death or something like that. And
the boogie. It's Tony Todd.
Yeah. That's it.
Fucking Candyman.
Yeah, Candyman himself. And he just like acts like he like knows like death is coming for all you. He's coming, baby. And it's like, okay, but why do you know that? It's like, I'm gonna go for the
Candyman.
I mean, and it's so weird. They find out like the order that they're dying in is because of like the order of like the plane, like how it like, where they're seeing
that's
the
always
plane.
how it's up. That's always how it's
But like at least like with 3, like it's just like their photos, you know. It's not like this weird like, oh, I made this map and like if you click the dots, then like, oh my god, Tony's next. Where is he? He's at the Saw Museum. Oh god, why? But yeah, there's that one. The second one I think might be the worst. It's the second one, the 4th one that I'm thinking might be the worst.
I don't know if I ever saw the 4th one.
The second.
I don't think so. I think I might. I know. I tried watching it. I tried watching it. They couldn't.
The second one is where there's a pileup.
With the logs.
Yes. With the logs.
Yes.
That's one of the most,
that one
like,
was,
say what you will, but that is, like, one of the most iconic horror images ever. Like, whenever I'm driving and I see one of those things, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the thing about that's the thing about these, the first 3 at least. The best part of the movie is the death that never happens.
Yeah.
The sequence, for me, is my favorite part.
Yeah, because, like, in every sequence, and, like, watching them all in a row, I kind of like got the vibe of it. It's always like, you know, these Rube Goldberg machines.
Yes, exactly.
And
it's never like what you think. It's always like the first thing it shows you, which you think is inconsequential, is the thing that kills them, and all this other bullshit doesn't matter. Yes. It's all this weird like things like and things falling over each other, and you know, like,
OK Go music video.
Yeah, I feel like what ends up happening is like a construction worker, like a dove scares me, oh, and then he drops a fucking cinder block on like a 13-year-old kid, and it's like, well, what was the whole thing in the dentist office where they pulled down his throat, and then it was, it's fine.
But 2 has the one lady who survived from the first one, right?
Yes, she is in like this mental hospital, like self-appointed, and she has all these like things set up where, you know, that way death can never get to her, which it is smart. But in this one too, the kids, like, they found all the people in this, they found that in a way that they were all related to the kids in the event of that plane crash a year, and it was like a year ago, and like, oh my god, if they survive, then that means then I'm actually related to this, so death was gonna come after us all along. This is part of death's plan. And it's just miserable. 3 is the best one. It's not great.
3 fucked me up.
I remember liking having a great time with 3.
But 3 is like fun.
I watched 3 right now.
It has
Let's shut this podcast off.
It has Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it.
That's what I thought. Yes, it has someone in it. I was like,
It has a good actor in it, which is fantastic. The deaths are all like fun and interesting. The roller coaster thing is like it's something that like it's a fear that a lot of people have. Like a pileup, like, people die in pileups, but like so many people are always like in traffic that you don't really think about it.
Yeah.
But like with planes, like roller coasters, like deaths on those are not reported as often because it's rare, but people still have that fear because whenever one happens, like, it's all over the news.
Yeah.
So people are instinctually like scared of those. So like when you see the movies have those as like the main thing, like, it makes sense. But yeah, 3, it's great. I'm not going to go much into it. But The Final Destination, you know what? I think this is the worst one. It reeks. This one takes place, it was going to be, they're at like a NASCAR event, and a car trips over, and then like a bunch of cement falls down and kills a bunch of people in the crowd. Yeah,
I definitely haven't seen this.
Oh, I
was confusing it with the bridge one, which is 5, right?
I don't know what 5 is because I couldn't see it.
That's right. You're right.
Which one has the escalator in the mall?
That is 4.
Okay.
That is
I remember
4.
seeing that in the trailer and being like, ooh.
Oh my god, that. Okay, so what's worse about what's so bad about 4 is the main guy. First off, there's this racist Nazi guy.
Right.
Who, like, it's very weird. Like, he really hates the people he hates. And he does, like, a cross burning, and then it doesn't work out for him. And it's trying to be funny, but, like, it doesn't work anymore. It's so weird.
No.
But the main guy in this one, he can, like, see into the future. And, like, he can, like, then kind of, like, stop death again. Like, multiple times. And it happens, like, 4 times.
Is Tony Todd in this one?
I don't think so. I think you might hear his voice. I can't remember. But there was one event, like, at the mall with the escalator.
Yeah.
Like, the whole mall, like, collapses.
Ooh.
And everything's gone. Everyone's dead. And then he's like, whoa, that was crazy. I better stop that from happening. Like, he just sees...
He keeps having
like, the
premonitions?
Yeah, the premonition to the future. Yeah. And it just, like, kind of takes out, like, the whole, like the essence of, like, fear of it. It's like we just want more, like, Rube Goldberg machines falling over each other.
We gotta watch 5, though, because I've never seen it, but I know how it ends, and it's great.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, I wanted to watch 5, but I couldn't. But what's so annoying about 4, The Final Destination, is it was a 3D movie.
Yes.
And I was doing research, while I was watching the movie, and I was seeing, like, the director talk about, I was like, we really want to use 3D to, like, enhance the movie, just, like, really show everything. And, like, immediately I thought I read that paragraph on the Wikipedia article. I look at the screen, and there's, like, boobs just, like, floating in the middle of the frame. And I'm like, what what the fuck is this? What are you talking about?
Peak 3D technology, Ryan.
It also has the worst deaths.
To be fair, these movies are sleaze.
They are sleaze,
Oh, yeah.
but like 4 is like so sleaze. There's like, and there actually
pretty
is
good.
in the mall. They are watching a 3D movie in the theater. This blew my mind. Where I was watching, I couldn't even like wrap my mind around it. They're
Holy
watching
shit.
a movie in the movie.
That's like 16.
In watching 3D, and the way the death happens is they're watching an action movie, and like there's an explosion, and there's an explosion in the movie, and there happens to also be a bunch of
Everyone's
like gasoline,
whoa.
like in the like, projection room.
I remember this.
And then like that explodes, like whoa!
That's
and then everyone
amazing.
I think that was in a
dies.
trailer.
It was
That's hilarious.
it was crazy, but really bad deaths in this one. There was one where a lady was in driving a car wash, and like it got stuck, and she was like, "Oh, like the things were slapping." She's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die!" But, like, we're in a car wash. This is so weird. But then like the weirdest one, and like I don't understand how like this happened, is a guy at a pool, and like a drainage, the drainage thing like goes like buck wild, and the guy gets like stuck in a drain.
Yeah, it sucks his asshole
It's
out.
literally sucking his asshole out. And then, like, after all it goes, like, all of his bits just, like, gush out everywhere.
I've seen
It's
that.
so weird. It blows my mind that
All
this
right.
is a real
You know
thing.
what? I think you're wrong. I think that's the best one.
It's so weird, but, like, the way it plays it just never... You know, it's trying to be sleazy and funny, but, like, it just feels lame to me.
Weird. I'm glad, Ryan. I haven't thought about the Final Destination in a long time,
me
so I'm
neither.
glad. I'm like, I kind of want to watch these now.
Man, damn.
What inspired you?
I wanted to watch something dumb to watch while I played Animal
Oh,
Crossing.
yeah, that's right. I remember you throwing that out to the group.
Yeah.
All right.
But so yeah, I was watching.
landed on
so
Final
I was-
Destination.
I was catching fish while watching these, and then I would like occasionally look back and be like, "Oh God, this bullshit." But yeah, that is most of the Final Destination movies. Very interested in 5, just because
I'll try and track it down.
I'm just so confused. Like, why they call it the Final Destination? And like 5 came out a year later. What were they thinking?
That's
Like
what-
at least
we gotta watch
with like the Friday the 13th, like Jason's dead, you know, when they made that one. I think that was like 4. They're like, all right, that's it. But then like 4 years later, like, all right, let's make another one. This one's called Jason Lives. Like time passed where like you could
Godzilla.
yeah, like time passed where like you could reasonably bring that back. But if you like say something like the final one, and the next like year or two, like it's the 5th one, don't even give it a subtitle. Like, come on, that's
a bold move.
It's bold and
I'm
frustrating.
surprised they haven't brought back Final Destination. It's been long enough. I mean, right now no one's making anything. But,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Right.
All right, Carrie, what have you seen?
I watched Stand By Me, which I had never seen,
been
and
a
I had
long
forgotten that it was a Stephen King thing.
Yeah.
Because I never have seen. I haven't seen any of his non-horror stuff besides this one now. But like this or Shawshank or Green Mile, I haven't seen those. But Stand By Me was pretty good because our friend our friend Greg recommended it to me, so we watched it together. And as soon as it started, I was like, "So is this just it without the clown?"
absolutely. 100%.
And he was like, "Oh well," and I was like, "Cause I got Richie here, I got Ben here." So it was a good movie. I enjoy that dynamic, and if you just take the cartoonish dumb shit out of it, then
It is weird that I remember, like, you compare those. Like, often I find myself comparing Stranger Things. Oh, it's like It fucking and Stand By Me.
Right.
I was like, oh, It, Stand By Me are the same thing.
Yeah, basically. Except one's a lot more fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
This one's just kind of about loss of innocence and growing apart from your childhood friends.
Boo-hoo.
See, these friends just got to get back together in 27 years and do some stupid shit.
They gotta get on a couch and record a podcast every month.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't have to. I haven't been watching a ton of new stuff. I've been taking this time to rewatch a ton of things. I watched Exorcist 3 again, still great. I watched Sweeney Todd again, still great. I watched, what what else did I rewatch? I rewatched Corpse Bride, Fabulous, Beetlejuice. Been getting real emo in the lockdown. The vibes is emo.
You realize when you're stuck in your house all day, you're like, man, I don't like my thoughts.
Like, let me go to my comfort place movies. These are my comfort place movies. But I did watch Princess Mononoke because I went to Target and they had a bunch of DVDs on sale, and I picked it up because I was like, I know I'll like it.
Was it the Disney version?
No.
Oh, really?
It's not. Good. It's the whatever. What is it? The
G-Kids.
Yeah, it's that version.
G-Kids.
But yeah, we don't support Disney Ghibli because they done fucked up that Totoro dub. But yeah, Princess Mononoke was awesome.
Are we against the Fox dub?
Carrie likes the Fox dub.
I like because it has the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fox dub is the dub.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Sure.
The Disney dub with the Fanning sisters is
it's
garbage.
really upsetting.
I mean, it's not garbage. It's just not correct.
Yeah.
The Kiki one's also not great. Even though Disney did the Kiki one originally, right? There's
I
two different Kiki ones.
I don't know which Kiki dub I own. I own the G-Kids one.
I think I saw, I
haven't seen that one. So.
But Princess Mononoke, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Hell yeah.
I was telling Carrie when we watched it together, because she told me she was watching. I was like, I need to watch it with you.
I posted a poll on Twitter, and Ryan was like, come to my house right now.
And you're like, no. Jeez, I hate you. But yeah, we were talking about, movies from our childhood that left an impact on us.
Yeah.
And for me, that was Princess Mononoke. I remember watching that on Toonami, and it blew my mind. Like, I hadn't seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And it definitely impacted stuff about women I like. I don't know why. And then me and Kara were talking about what that did to her, and that brought us into his next movie on the list, which I also watched for the first time, but I'm letting Carrie...
Because Ryan was describing his princess... his princess. His
it is my princess.
His experience watching Princess Mononoke, and how it was like this eye-opening experience for him, and how he was like, wow, this is the scope of what movies can be. This is amazing. And then I was like, I felt that exact same way, but when I watched Phantom of the Opera for the first time when I was a child, because that was my fucking... when I was watching that movie, I was like, oh, this is what movies can be. This is the best thing I've ever seen. And I was obsessed with that movie for 10 years. And me and Ryan came to a mutual decision to watch Phantom of the Opera, because he said to me, you know what, Carrie, I've never gotten around to watching that film, but I know that you have a high opinion of it, and I respect you and your taste, so I would love this opportunity to watch it with you. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, Devin was like, we have nothing else better to do right now.
It was you and Zach were gonna do something in Animal Crossing, and Zach was finishing up the D&D session on Discord, and I said,
and let's finish it up for 4 more hours.
Well, let's watch this until Zach is done. And we watched all of Phantom of the Opera, which is 2.5 hours long.
Oh, damn, he said I'll be done in 20 minutes. Asshole.
But I knew Ryan would be into it a little bit because of Patrick Wilson's presence in this film,
it's
friend
true.
of the show. But yeah, no, this movie...
You still have
I have talked about this because I also made Greg watch this at one point, and he was like, Carrie, this is fucking garbage. I don't understand. And I have this weird relationship with this movie where it's as I've grown with it, I watch it now and I'm like, ugh, this is not great. There's some questionable decisions being made here. This movie is, a little bit yikes territory, some might say. But it's I can't sever it from myself. It's just so ingrained, and it's such a big part of my development as a movie watcher and of my taste. It's just always gonna be there. I put it at the bottom of every my favorite movies list. I always put it down. I'm like, you get down there. But I love it. I can't help it. How did you feel about it, Ryan?
I did not like it. It was, the music was all over the place. I have no idea what I had no idea. At no point did I have any recollection of what was happening. And I was
I wasn't paying like full attention. I was on my phone a lot.
Excuse
I'll
me?
be honest.
What the
But
fuck?
like, I was trying to like follow
I
the
watched
general
your
plot.
shitty movie.
I'm sorry, okay? But like, I had zero idea what
Are
was
you
happening.
telling me you don't know the plot of Phantom of the Opera after having watched it?
There was a phantom? Valjean at last.
No.
His name was Dr. Horrible. He had a sing-along blog.
No.
Oh, no.
What was your favorite song, Ryan?
What was the one that we kept making the joke about that like he kept doing? Like the one song he knew. Yeah.
You kept, like during all the quiet moments of the film, or when they were talking about him, you would be like,
The Phantom of the Opera is here.
And you hurt his feelings. Yeah, he would just be popping up and being overly dramatic.
I just thought it'd be funny, like, being this guy who has lived, like, in the walls of this opera house for years. Literally grooming a child to be his wife. And he has learned one, like, portion of the song. The Phantom of the Opera is here.
Which is, when you break it down, is just the chromatic scale. So it's just when you find that section of keys on the piano, you're just hitting all the ones next to each other, being like,
So yeah, that was a funny joke we came up with, I thought.
It's also one of those movies that I have, like, kind of I've watched it so many times that it feels like a Rocky Horror type of experience where I could be, like, I just have things to interact with the movie, and it's fun to make other people be exposed to that, like when he takes the horse down the stairs and then she gets off the horse 2 minutes
immediately
later.
Oh my god,
it's a great movie.
I'm excited for when theaters open up and you bring your Phantom of the Opera watch party. You just like shoehorn it into
God,
a regular at the Alamo.
They didn't do the Moulin Rouge one this year, the fucking bastards.
Oh man, well maybe they were going to, but then it was shut down.
No, because it's always in February for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
idiots.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
so yeah, that's what we've been watching. I'm trying to see what was coming up on Netflix in April. There is some stuff, but there's not a lot of descriptions for this stuff. Apparently, there's a Liam Hemsworth movie coming out.
Okay.
Maybe it's a Chris Hemsworth movie. I don't remember which Hemsworth it was anymore.
It's going to impact whether I watch it or not.
Yeah.
Which Hemsworth is.
There's some interesting documentaries coming out. There's a Ghost in the Shell remake. And
yeah, the Ghost in the Shell I was super thrilled for that. Because like the concept art they showed was so good.
Like,
it was so pretty.
Backed it.
And the art is like this like disgusting 3D CG animation.
It's like Mewtwo Strikes Back nonsense. It looks bad.
And like it sucks. Oh yeah. But like the concept art because like Netflix like pitched us like 2 years ago, hey, we're making a Ghost in the Shell reboot, and it had this like beautiful, crazy like art.
It looks like a PS2 game.
And then it looks like this.
It's so ugly.
And like it sucks because like I've wanted to like I love the original Ghost in the Shell a lot. It's so good. And I've wanted to like enjoy like the supplement materials of that, but like there's so much and I don't really know the order of which you should watch it. So like when I heard about this, I was like, oh cool. Or anime remake, I'll just watch fucking that. And it looks disgusting, and I refuse to watch it.
There's apparently a Netflix their first big anime movie with Ricky Gervais, Maya Rudolph, Terry Crews, Will Forte, and Martin Short called The Willow Boys.
Where Ricky Gervais voices the cat. I saw him promoting that.
There's a documentary called Circus of Books on a gay porn star that's been produced by Ryan Murphy. I don't know who Ryan Murphy is.
You don't know? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Get off this couch. We are Ryan Murphy stands on this couch.
I mean,
but the team that was making that Ghost in the Shell reboot is also making a Blade Runner anime for
not watch Blade Runner
for Adult Swim. That's who they're making it for. It's the same team, and I was super thrilled. And then I saw that art style. I was like, "Oh, please don't have it look like that.
Yuck.
I don't want to look at Ryan Gosling looking like that." Or Harrison Ford.
He already
kind of
looks like that.
There's a new season of Bleach?
There's always a new season of Bleach.
Anyway.
Season 493
of Bleach?
Anyways, one of the main things I do know is the main event which is a WWE movie on Netflix. Because WWE programs coming to Netflix now. There's also on QB, some WWE on QB. So this movie is about. So you ever Like Mike? This is Like Mike, but wrestling.
Oh. Candy?
Huh?
Ike and Mike?
No, Like Mike. The movie about the kid who finds Michael Jordan's shoes.
Yeah.
It's got the It's got the
holes.
No.
Oh, okay. Again, I'm not a fan of holes. The concept of holes.
It hurts every time.
I don't. Okay.
The concept of holes. What?
What is this thing? I don't understand the concept of it.
Anyways, this movie doesn't look great, but I'll probably watch it. It's this kid who finds this mask that makes him a good wrestler.
That sounds
He goes on NXT. It's very much they're very much riding the Kofi Kingston fucking wave. So it's like this young black kid who loves Kofi Kingston, wants to be a wrestler. He finds this magic mask. He gets on NXT. Fucking Mike the Miz Mizanin is there. Is anyone familiar with the reality show Miz and Mrs.? No, just me. It's fine. Another great WWE production.
Carrie, how many more months does quarantine go
I don't know.
until this podcast becomes George talking about a wrestling thing?
I know.
Because there's always a new. How is there always a new wrestling thing?
I don't know, dude. I'm not even.
Like every time I talk to you, there's like a new wrestling thing.
There's the one sport going on still, so
I have no idea how this happens. There's this whole world.
It's becoming more. There's more of us. There's more of us.
I'm still an outsider.
All bits aside, I can now recommend Dark Side of the Ring. Again, it's on ViceTV.com. They have it up there.
Really good.
It is fucking fantastic. I think you'd really like it. It's not WWE produced, so there's no crocodile tears. There's no fucking bullshit. Anyways, the main event, a fine WWE product. Love it so much. Great stuff. I don't know. It looks silly, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix puts out a lot of stuff that they were holding in the chamber right now. But
is that Charlie Kaufman Netflix thing still coming out?
Yeah, it was going to be this summer.
What was it? What are you talking about?
I'm thinking of ending things. It was supposed to have Brie Larson in it.
Yeah, but she had to drop out, and that sucks.
I don't know what the plot is. I haven't looked it up, but he's like writing, directing, writing a Netflix original thing.
He's also directing.
I'm thinking of ending things. Nice.
Very excited
I love
for
him.
it.
Also, I guess Trolls World Tour is coming out in April.
Thank God.
Another thing Greg is very excited
Oh, I
for.
see.
Yeah. So I'll be watching that.
Oh, man.
This is the second Trolls movie?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It feels like there's
Yes,
been
sir.
6,000.
Nope, just one.
Just the one.
That's
I think it's because that fucking Justin Timberlake song was on the radio for 5
I
years.
hate Justin Timberlake.
Oh wow,
so
the list ended at
Yay!
I scrolled down thinking there would be
Wait
one
a
more
minute.
movie.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Just thought of something that I think came out that I think y'all have seen.
Oh,
Wait.
the Puka movie?
Yes!
I haven't watched it yet.
I have
Ryan
watched
saw
it.
it. He was not a fan.
I paused my Hulu account right before they put on Portrait of a Lady on Fire
Nice.
and
Oh, wow.
announced Puka 2. And I was like, you bastards! It's like you know.
Ryan, did you have any words to say? I don't have to say anything.
All I'll say is I did not enjoy Puka 2 that much. It very much felt like they had the first draft and they just shot that. Like they didn't work on that. I will say it has probably one of the funniest things I have ever seen in a long time. It was another Paddington Boat ride to pause because I was laughing so hard, and it was so out of place and weird. But yeah, it's fine. I'll get more into it next month because I'll have nothing else to say.
Hell yeah.
Whatever we do next month.
Yeah, exactly. There'll probably be another one of these, I assume.
I just thought of something that I'm going to watch and I forgot it immediately.
Well.
The fuck was I going to mention that I was going to watch?
Oh yeah,
It'll come back
Puka
to me.
Lives, Puka 2. It also has
right.
Felicia Day and Will Wheaton in it, which is weird. I love those guys, but it's weird that they are in a Hulu thing.
I should rewatch more of the fucking Hulu After Dark shit now, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Heard good things about the Valentine's Day one, actually.
I heard good things about it too.
Specifically from our good friend Alex,
Yes.
who loves it.
Yeah,
Gave it
she's
5
seen-
stars on
she's-
Letterboxd.
she's seen all of the Into the Dark stuff, and I wish I could do that. But I see.
I gotta watch Final Destination movies.
I see one bad one and then I don't watch another one for like 4 months, and I'm like, it's fine.
I've still only seen Puka in the New Year's one.
Oh. Oh, man.
Anyways, that's our quarantine episode 1. I think we have at least one more of these in us.
Oh yeah,
At least one more.
At least one more.
Hey, we'll eventually find a copy of Final Destination 5 somewhere on the streets.
I am about to go on Amazon and
mean-
be like, Ben's
Ben's Game is doing curbside pickup. You want to call them up? You guys got a DVD copy of Final Destination 5?
I was like,
Do they sell DVDs at Ben's
Oh
Game?
yeah, dude, they have a shit ton of
Holy
DVDs.
shit!
I should go to Half
They
Price
have a
Books
lot
for
of
my
stuff.
DVDs.
I do. I hit up Half Price Books all the time.
Yeah, they have a lot of shit. They got some like, weird VHS copies of some nonsense.
Holy fuck! I've
Yeah.
never been there. I'm gonna go there once
Yes.
quarantine is over.
So-
I live literally right next to that.
Yeah, you do.
I might call them. Do you have a copy of Final Destination 5? Anyways, the people that are in front of us, across from us, turn off their lights. So it's time to go to bed. It's time
Their
to wrap this
podcast
up.
is over.
Their podcast is over, which
Might
means
as well
ours
end
is
ours
over.
too.
One more time. Dark Side of the Ring. It's great. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know. We'll see where the April will take us, I guess.
Our 1 hour long discussion on Puka Lives coming at ya.
And Final Destination 5.
Oh hell
Fuck
yeah! We'll become one of those podcasts where we just talk about one movie like the whole podcast, and
Oh,
we run
God.
out of them immediately because our Final Destination 5 podcast kind of really
Yeah.
ended after we talked about the movie one time and had one episode about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan, if people want to keep track of whatever the fuck you want to find, we're watching on Letterboxd and logging it, where could they do that?
My letterbox is at Filmpiece. You can check out my review of Puka 2. Tuka?
And they can check out your Animal Crossing tweets where?
At Mr. Pibb Official. Do not come to my island. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. Don't judge me. Don't tease me.
It's not even like.
Don't tease me, please. Don't tease me. Yeah, I'm working on it.
I guess people. I don't know. Anyways, weird. Carrie.
You can find me on Letterboxd just by searching my first name, Karrie, or you can find me on Twitter at
Killer SEO.
KAR_E Lyles, LYLES. You can come to my Animal Crossing island if you want. I don't have anything, and it's named Stink Zone.
She doesn't have Nintendo Switch Online, so you can't actually do that. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want you anyway.
So, you can find me at jcruzalvarez26. I gotta get back on the Letterboxd thing. I haven't been. I don't know what I've been doing with my time. Honestly, I don't know what I've been doing. I haven't I guess I played some Animal Crossing.
I like how this quarantine happened and it's like...
I don't know where the time went.
Now that I have all the time to do whatever I want, I don't feel like doing it. That's crazy, right?
It's like I logged Tiger King because I watched all of that in
Same
one
here.
day, and then I realized that I hadn't... Like, when I I watched Adaptation yesterday, and then I was like, wow, I haven't logged anything in over a week.
Yeah, right. That's
I've
also
been
what I've been like. I don't
doing.
know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch Final Destination 3.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, doesn't that movie have 2 different endings?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think many of them have alternate endings they don't use that are weird.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways.
I've only seen the theatrical cuts.
Yep. Anyways, until the next time. Actually, in all seriousness, take care out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you whenever the hell we do next time here in the quarantine zone.
Oh boy.
Bye bye.